Good afternoon, collectors, and welcome to Trading Card Therapy, episode number 19. Happy New Year to everyone out there. Thanks for joining us. So, unless you've been living under a rock for the last, 24 hours, you've heard by now Fanatics has officially acquired the Topps sports and entertainment divisions of Topps. Topps will be holding on to their candy business. Certainly, as collectors, we're not that interested in candy, although I am a big fan of grape Swedish fish. So, if you see any, please let me know, as they're very rare. Not numbered, just rare. Like a tough short print, out of a case. Anyway, what does this mean for the hobby at large? What does this mean for, depending on what bucket you fall into, collector? What does this mean for dealers? What does this mean for hobby shop owners? What does this mean for a hybrid of, all of those, meaning collector and dealer, which, a lot of times can be the same these days? I'll start off by saying, when I first heard it, I wasn't shocked. However, I was very happy that it happened a lot sooner than I thought. I thought it would happen in 12 months from now, 18 months from now, if we were unlucky, maybe a couple of years from now. Very fortunate as a hobby to start off with such incredible news to begin the new year of 2022. And for those of you who are curious, at least as to my take, that's what I'm going to be revealing today. But please, if you're watching this video, whether it be on YouTube or you're joining us here on IG Live, we appreciate it. We'd love to hear from you and your take as well. So drop your comments down below. So with Fanatics making the move now, first and foremost, what struck me, this was a tweet from Michael Rubin on social media, that the 350 or so Topps employees, they're coming with. They're staying at the company, and that's going to be very, very exciting. Of course, not just for all of those people and their jobs and their families. Let's be real. We certainly, if you're a human being, you care about them and you care about their families and what was going to be the shakeout. But as a collector, as a dealer, right, as an investor, you care about the quality of the products that Topps is going to put out under the Fanatics brand. And so for some people that may have been worried that Fanatics was going to take the brand name of Topps, but not the people, not the makeup, the fabric of the brand, but just the actual name itself. I think for those that were a little bit worried, on the short term of what was going to happen, there's a lot of encouraging signs coming out of the Fanatics camp, not just, of course, about the acquisition, but about the employees. And then as far as collector, dealer, investor, because I'm certainly, all of those, and I know many of us are all of those. So that's why this is an appealing, at least to me, this would be a take that I'd want to hear from all of you, because many of us fall in that collector, dealer, investor, different buckets. Is why do you think it's good now? Or for that matter, why do you think it's bad? I think it's good for a lot of reasons for collector, dealer, investors. First and foremost, it gives you confidence in a long time brand that is going to stick around and be relevant for the decades to come. And that's not only relevant for next year's, I'm excited, Topps Chrome and Topps Finest Basketball, right? But also just as excited, if not more excited, that the 52 Topps Maze, the 52 Topps Mantle, all of those relevant cards from Topps that they produced over the last, 70 or so years will not only remain historically important, but as the brand under Fanatics at this point continues to flourish and grow, I could only imagine that for those who've been, because this is how I felt, right? Forget about, I don't have any sponsors here. I can just tell you how I felt, my honest, sincere, how it felt here. When I heard that news, it made me want to go out and buy the blue chips of Topps cards, because their brand is now going to be synonymous with baseball cards and basketball and football for the next, hopefully, several decades. I'm not suggesting I wasn't buying Jim Brown rookies or Bill Russell rookies because of what was going on. I'm just saying that I feel even more confident that I can't believe that our businesses, I saw this in 2030, it's going to be a $97.2 billion business. I have no idea. That is not my area of expertise. But the area I do know well, which is baseball cards, more on the vintage side, but certainly very in tune with modern, as we offer both styles of breaks through our breaking company, vintagebreaks.com. This is extremely good news for the hobby as it stands, especially for those that were naysayers that were thinking Topps was going to now overproduce for the next several years while it was waiting for, its meal ticket to expire and Fanatics to take over. Now they're going to be in lockstep and trying to hopefully create the best value, the best product for the value across different price points for the customer. I think that's really exciting. So as far as being a collector, dealer, investor, this is not just about the legacy of Topps continuing moving forward, but it's also looking backwards and understanding that their rich history was certainly part of the reason why Fanatics was rumored to pay approximately $500 million for the top sports and entertainment divisions. But that should say something to you as a collector, as a dealer, as an investor. If you've been, hovering or on the brink of buying a special Topps card, I feel a lot more confident this morning. But that is my take. Please, like I said, share your feedback in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if anyone wants to reach out to me directly, you can do that either through DM on Instagram or on email through Leighton@justcollect.com. So one of the other many points that hopefully is not only worth discussing, but will come out of this with Fanatics and Topps is I've long said that the places like, whether it be Walmart or Barnes and Noble or, I was going to say Kmart, but I don't think Kmart's even around anymore. Target and the like, when they carry retail product, for example, of Topps now, what I'm hoping that Fanatics will be able to figure out with their amazing team over there is to produce products that can be inventoried by Target, by Walmart, by Walgreens, and that we can price out, let's say, at 99 cents per pack, $1.49 per unit, and that you don't put a chase card in it. It's an 800 card set or a 1200 card set, and there will be rookies and, lots of great, bold, vivid colors and facts about not just about those current players, but about baseball cards in general. I'd use it as an educational set, keep the price point super low, maybe even use it as a loss leader. I believe Fanatics has that kind of mentality. And so what I'm hoping is we're going to see that price point available again, which has not been available for some time for modern cards just coming out in the current year's releases. And I'm also hoping that they figure out a way with their distribution knowledge to keep it in stock so that whether it be my 7-year-old son Crosby, as I take him to those places like Target and such, we're going to be able to pick up a few packs of cards and don't have to be worried about being barreled over by, someone who's been stalking that particular location. So shout out to my friend Chris Coe. I'm going to take his quote directly here that says, I think the Topps acquisition is super smart because they now own the brand and potentially the IP to secure all the rights, physical cards and digital. Most certainly interesting point, Chris. Debatable about all of the, digital rights. And to further Chris's point, says he's no lawyer, but I suspect as the values get bigger, IP rights and authentication rights to say a PSA 3 1952 Topps Jackie that you own that goes NFT becomes murky on who owns all rights to it. Chris, that's exactly what I was thinking this morning. Only time will tell over the coming months and years as far as IP rights, and NFTs are concerned as far as Topps baseball cards. But great comments, and certainly great questions, and it provokes interesting discussions for the hobby as it stands now and as it evolves into the future. So there's many other, I believe, really fun things that Fanatics is going to be able to do that maybe Topps couldn't do with their product. And so Topps is, put out every year, for example, their Transcendent, which is a super high end, I don't remember, it's 20,000 a box. They only produce 100 boxes. Well, maybe Fanatics does the same thing. Maybe the run is a little bit larger. Instead of there just being a party at the end, anyone who buys into that break, that information is collected by Fanatics because they care about all those high-end clients, and they're going to do something for them. So one of the things that I think, Chris, is going to be interesting about this acquisition is how close does this mean Fanatics is to breaking? Because you now own a manufacturer, and certainly a very esteemed one. Are they going to enter the breaking market, or they're going to let the breaking market kind of, take care of itself, and they're just going to be worrying about the ecosystem and the distribution of their product, which, by the way, we're going to get to in a second. That'll be interesting for breakers as well. What does it mean when they talk about direct to consumer? So I'm certainly not an expert in that arena, but direct to consumer means that the company who's selling or offering said good or goods and or services do so without the aid of a middleman, a retail store, or anyone in the middle that causes friction, therefore supposedly keeping down the price or the ask of said goods or services to the end user. I don't know how that's going to play out, but I'd like to think that at the very least, we are going to see that 99-cent or $1.49 break or packs available, as well as different, let's say, points in the distribution system. As far as kind of circling back to the Transcendent discussion that we were just having, I believe that Topps and their new owners are very interested in not just their products, but who consumes their products, because that's, how they're going to ultimately, improve their offering and the value proposition for said consumers, over the years. But I think that they're going to be interested in maybe how, for example, not just how many cases Transcendent or Bowman Draft, which is the new hot product that just dropped, are going to be offered to a said card shop or distributor, but also how something high-end like Transcendent is actually going to be broken. Because I've seen, and I don't know, about you, but, and once again, for full disclosure, you do not know, I do own a breaking company called VintageBreaks.com. And obviously everyone has their own style and their own flavor that they like, that they enjoy, because it is entertainment. I think that when you're coming to, let's say, something like, Flawless, which has 20 cards in a case, you'll see breakers open up a whole case of Flawless, stack the 20 cards and fire through them like they're eating Doritos. My son tears through Dorito bags, and that's why I'm doing this, because he just keeps eating them. And he says they're so good, and they are. But when you're talking about something that is, very limited in production and of, high perceived value, and actuality is worth potentially a bunch of money as well, I believe that there should be, rules and regulations, a guidebook, a handbook, if you will, set forth by Topps as to how these, high-end products should be handled. And then, I know this is a very hot topic within the industry, is allocation. Here's the thing. I don't know what Topps is going to do. I have no stake in it, in the sense of I get no allocation. So anything you see offered at VintageBreaks.com is obtained from a distributor, the secondary market, right? Collectors, dealers, investors, auction houses, etc. Hope to change that, which we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. But I don't know if they're going to keep that same rule book. In other words, everyone who has the allocation they have now gets the same moving forward. If I had to take a guess, I think they're going to use that information of how it stands and how it exists at the moment to help them guide and rewrite how allocation is going to be dealt with moving forward. Because there's a lot of folks, whether it be new shop owners, or smaller shop owners, or aspiring baseball card shop owners, that know they have no chance, whether it be breaking or just simply, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I grew up, I was the kid of, I went up the hill at Gordon's Corner Road in Manalapan, New Jersey. I had $3.50. I was hoping to get more from Lori and Me, which is the name of the baseball card place right around the corner from my house that I could ride my bike to. And like, I bought packs and I opened them and I traded and I try to give all the stuff back for just another 2 packs. Or I would try to get 1980s football cards with my buddy Andrew growing up because we thought they were rare. There wasn't a lot of football, around. Certainly baseball was the most prominent. So, we don't know what'll happen, but I believe Fanatics, especially by doing the move this early, they are really concerned with how they're going to, of course, leverage the Topps brand and leverage the Topps name, but also how to keep people around, how to have less friction for everyone involved. And then also, just look how many people are in the world and look how many people don't collect baseball cards but love sports. And when I say baseball cards, for those of you just watching this Trading Card Therapy episode number 19 for the first time, I don't actually just mean baseball cards. I mean basketball, I mean football, I mean hockey, I mean UFC, Garbage Pail Kids for that matter, all that good stuff. Yes, Topps Chrome basketball, please. I mean, there's going to be whatever the first Topps Chrome basketball release is going to be. It's going to be like that first year of Prism basketball. I think it's what is it? 13, 14 is Giannis, so it's 12, 13 maybe when they had Prism, and it's like the first Curry card of Prism. I think a lot of that stuff. I mean, hopefully they're going to be able to secure a Jordan license, although I guess with the Upper Deck license, but Jordan maybe they can't. But whoever comes out, it's going to be a highly iconic set. Super pumped for it. But those are just my some of my thoughts as far as the big news about Fanatics acquiring Topps, and in regards to the allocation. Just to finish up there, if I were a card shop that had zero allocation, and we're not really a card shop, we'll get to that in a few minutes, versus a card shop that has a lot of allocation, if I were the folks that had a lot of allocation, that's probably where I'd be most concerned, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't believe what's been transpiring over the last, whether it be year or several years, has quote unquote been fair. And I'm not saying life is fair, because that's not what this is about. Most certainly it is not. But you want to try to be fair in business, because good, fair business promotes more business. And so there may not be a reason why, I'm making it up, so-and-so shop gets 11 cases because maybe they were friends with Billy, who used to work in marketing, and that guy was from their hometown. And you find out that a bigger shop, they actually only get 2 cases of Dynasty. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I don't know the last time their allocations have been audited, but I suspect that they're not going to just audit the allocations as it stands, but they're going to audit the entire allocations process. And, we shall see what it'll mean moving forward. But this is why I'm suggesting, if you get a lot of allocation, I'd be more concerned there, because you have a lot more to lose. Whereas, for example, Vintage Breaks gets 0 allocation. So anything that we can do to make an inroad or make headway is going to be great for us. And to be fair, I also think is going to be better for the long-term viability of the hobby, because you want people who are on the sidelines that are aspiring entrepreneurs, or frankly, they've had a good run. They've worked in corporate America, and, they want to open up a card shop in their town. Great. I think that's all good for a business, all those different angles. So, I think that the allocation process is going to be audited, and, we'll see where the final numbers land. But speaking of that, we have our own news here at Just Collective Vintage Breaks. And for those of you who are new to Trading Card Therapy, welcome. Those are the 2 companies I own in the baseball card space. And yes, I am a big baseball card nerd. So our building has been sold here in just outside of New Brunswick, New Jersey, about a mile from Rutgers College. And so we are looking to move our office, and we're very excited for that. Um, One of the main reasons is because I've kind of wanted to do it anyway, and we've been operating with what we have, like many of us do in life. But we know that with a move, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to not only be more efficient, but potentially, for example, for Vintage Breaks, produce a higher quality show. We're going to, knock on wood, we're going to have a retail shop. It will not be a retail shop in the sense of like a Burbank or some, super duper mega 5,000, 10,000 square foot space. It's more going to be like a, let's say a high end jewelry shop you'd find in Short Hills, New Jersey, where you're ringing a doorbell to hop on in to see, as my wife has done, some nice jewelry. Well, in this case, you're going to see some nice Babe Ruths and Lou Gehrig's and Joe Namath and Will Chamberlain's. But we're having fun right now in our office here in New Jersey, working on the floor plan. So if you do know any commercial real estate agents, I just realized, hey, drop us a line. We're already working with one fella, but certainly, we're open. We're looking for more of like a flex space, and that's very exciting for us to have retail, because for this baseball card nerd who's wanted to probably have a card shop since he was, I don't know, 11 years old, I can now rationalize having it be part of our business in a growing hobby, in a growing industry. And so we're just really blessed to be in the position that we're in. We're very excited about where we're going. And once again, a special shout out to Fanatics acquisition of Tops. Shout out to Michael Rubin and Josh Luber and their entire team to not only go out and acquire them, but to make it part of the first 24 hours where it's known that the entire Tops team is coming with them to Fanatics, and they're being welcomed to the Fanatics family. I just think that when you consider those who you trade with, your local card store that you go to, your local card show, the dealer that you buy from, this may sound corny, but oh, it's the truth. We are all a card family. And on that note, this is Trading Card Therapy, episode number 19. Happy New Year, and thanks for joining us.